Hello. Hello. We are going to continue to use Python with the history book. Okay. Let's see. The last time we just tried to fetch the history book from the internet, and we failed with the Python package requests. Requests using some underhood Python, for example, OpenUIR, and it get trouble with the GitHub. We don't know the details, all the details. It's plenty of error track. And you can see the error track like this, a lot of that. And basically, we know that there are many Stack Overflow threads talking about what's happening between Python package request and the GitHub repository and GitHub servers. What GitHub server confused with the Python package request, and it basically refuses connection. The server refuses connection. So when you're doing the online resource, when you fetch online resource, you're better to put it inside the try and accept block. So you can try the UIR. You can try to fetch, for example, web page or files, and you accept some error message. And this way, you can keep your scripts running without a total fail, exit from the script. Okay. Then this time we are going to use another way. We are going to use import subprocess SS. Okay, we import subprocess. Subprocess is a Python package, another Python package that can be used to invoke command line, because we are going to deal with GitHub, and it's another attempt to fetch the file, the history book as a file, and we're going to use subprocess. Okay, for subprocess, if you want to get more information about it, here is where you can find the document. You can get the Python documentation from Python's official website, and let's see it. You get Python tutorial, and let's see if we can search subprocess. Okay, you get it. Somewhere you know that you can get subprocess, because it's, as long as I can remember, it should be a standard package from Python. So just do it. Subprocess module allows you to spawn new process. It means the process is a concept on Linux machine that you can invoke a process, and you can invoke hundred of process, each process running their missions. Okay, and connect to the input-output error pipes and obtain their written codes. So the module intends to replace several older modules before. For example, when we are using Python version 2, we have os.system, os.spawn, and popen module like this, and so on. And subprocess replacing all of them. Subprocess can finish all the kind of command line invoking, and invoking subprocess is to use run. Basically, is to use run function for all use case, and the run is general purpose function. Okay, let me show you how we're going to use subprocess to get Git repository. Of course, we're going to get the Git repository from Python, and let me show you how to get the Git repository, how to use Git command to get a Git repository from GitHub. Okay, GitHub, there is documentation about the command line interface from GitHub. You can see it's going to use GH, but the old way. let's do it the old way. The old way should also working. Let me show you the old way. It's JIT. It's simply JIT, and GitHub will supposed to give you how to use JIT. You can see when we are going to get code, we have three ways: HTTPS, SSH, and GitHub. Command line from GitHub itself. So you can use gh-repo clone this repository. You can use this SSH address to fetch the repository. Okay, we're going to use this one because I just didn't finish to set up the GH. GH is a little bit newer comparing to the old JIT command line. Okay, let's go to a temporary directory and JIT clone. This is a command line. You can see that the destiny path is already exist. Let me remove it. Okay, then we can use the JIT clone to clone the repository, and we get the whole repository to our local machine, to our local desks. And as we know that the difference between a single file, a single online file from internet, and a JIT repository, you can find a lot of information of JIT. It's a wonderful software. It's a wonderful application. And a JIT repository commonly contains a lot of directories, directory structures, and many files inside those directories, and you get the history of those files. You can reverse the history, editing history, and you can get the branches of those repository, because when we're doing developing, we have we are going to try two different branches. We add something in different branches and test those attempts. And once one branch get progress, we're going to make it push it to the upstream and keep going on. And this is how we do our teamwork during software development. Okay, so basically, if we want to get a specific version of a file from a GitHub repository, we are going to clone the GitHub repository to our local disks, and then we're going to fetch the file according to what we want. Okay, and you can see that the command line gave us result. It finished the cloning of the repository. And how can we do it with Python subprocess? Let me show you. Okay, we import subprocess SS because I'm not going to type in subprocess the long word. I'm going to type the subprocess as S. S stand for subprocess. Okay, and we import RE, regular expression package, from Python. It's a standard package. Our target directory should be the temporary directory, and the name of the folder is going to be story, and the target file we're going to fetch. This is the history book. It's history and China. On the folder Y10M, it means 10 million years, but it's over 10 million years. Okay, then using subprocess SS, S stands for subprocess, S run. Let's test the subprocess. Okay, let's first test the running of the subprocess with this simple command. Okay, and the file name is going to be p.py. Okay, and our Python version. Okay, let me show you again. It's Python version 3.7. Python b.py. We get this. You can see that. Let me explain what happened. Okay. we run this command, so it's going to show us the target file. Let me show you. Check it from the running results. I'm sorry, the history book still in Chinese. I'm going to try to translate it to English if I have time. But Python can deal with Unicode, so Python can deal with all kind of human language. It's an easy kick. It's a piece of cake for Python. So just relax, and the encoding of the file should be UTF-8 as all the files, all the default encoding for a Linux machine. You can see the first command, actually we get this one. This one, it means we try to use the subprocess to list this file, and it showed us this file that it has about 700 kilobytes, and in Chinese character it should be about 300 kilo character. And let's continue. After we run this command, it's list director and our file, and this time we list the target file, and we open this file. We open the target file with the mode of reading. R stands for reading, and after we open the file, we read the file to text. Text is the string, and then we define a function. It shows the list. Then we're going to use the regular expression to split this string and and we show the result of the splitting. It's a list of small strings, and during the listing of the show the list, inside this function we print an index number start from 0. D stands for index number, and we print out the first 100 characters of the small string, and together with the index number and the separator and the horizontal separator. For the horizontal separator, we gave it 30 equal symbol and space. Let's change it to this way. And this time we're going to run it inside another Python interpreter, ipython. Let me show you. ipython is using Python version 3.7, and the ipython's version is 7.20. Okay, we run the scripts. Okay, you can see we get the result, and as you noticed, we change the separator, horizontal separator, to equal sign and the space, and you can see we get the result. This is our separator. So separator separates each small strings to make it clear for our reading, and you can see this is the small pieces of the strings. The history book split it to 33 pieces, and we print out the first 100 character of each small string, and we get this result, the number 9, because the index starts from 0. So number 9 is the 10th substring. The first 100 character is this. And then, sorry, just return to the number 9. Quite loud because we split the history book. A whole history book is covered over a million years and million years. I just finished a history book. It's actually start from the Big Bang, and you can see this is the result. First result is the listing of the file, the size of the file, and then string number 0, string number 1 and string number 2, and so on. This is the result. But we just miss out a task, as we mentioned before. The task is, after we filled with the request package to fetch the online resource, the file, the Git repository, and we have other options with Python. We have URLab. URLab is not a standard package from Python. You can use it to fetch the online file. If it's a common file, normal file, we can do it with the request or URLab, but we're going to get a file from a Git repository. So as you learn, the Git repository has many files with a single. It might be many files with a single repository. So we're going to use command line subprocess, and we just test subprocess, but we didn't using Python subprocess to fetch the Git repository. We jump to the results. Is to split the whole history book into pieces. Next time, I'm going to show you how to use subprocess to invoke the Git command line and clone the Git repository to our local disk. Okay? Thank you. We're going to do it after a while. Thank you. Bye-bye.